Welcome to Gulf Shores, Alabama. We had so much fun last week exploring historic Blakely State Park and the USS Alabama Battleship Memorial Park in Mobile, Alabama. This week we are heading to the beach, where we will explore Alabama's Gulf Coast. We stayed at Alabama Coast Campground in Foley, Alabama. This RV park was conveniently located within 30 minutes of a lot of the places that we wanted to explore in the area. The sites here came with full hookups, but the sites are small and we had some close neighbors. There are no bathrooms or showers, just a couple of porta potties, but there is a dog park, a volleyball net, and free laundry. Overall, we liked the location of this RV park, and we did not have any issues. We arrived to Foley on Sunday and got all set up before taking a drive to Gulf Shores. It was a beautiful day, and we just couldn't wait to get to the beach. We walked along the beach for a bit. The sand was very powdery and white. It felt great on our feet. We decided to have dinner in the area, so we walked down the beach to Bahama Bob's. Keisha ordered the blackened red snapper with potatoes and green beans. I ordered the crab stuffed flounder topped with cheese sauce and shrimp, with potatoes and green beans on the side. The food was really good here. We ended our meal with a slice of peanut butter pie before walking back to the truck and heading home for the night. On Monday after work, we drove about a half hour to Tarkiln Bayou Preserve State Park, just across Perdido Bay in Florida. This was a small, unmanned state park that costs $3 per vehicle to enter. There are two trails here, the Tarkiln Bayou Trail and a 7.2-mile trail that crosses the park to the beaches of Perdido Bay. We walked the dogs on the half-mile Tarkiln Bayou Trail, which is ADA accessible and leads to an observation area of the bayou. Along the way we saw some pretty trees, palmettos, and pitcher plants. This park is home to 4 species of endangered carnivorous pitcher plants, including the white-topped pitcher plant, which is unique to this area. Eventually, we got to the small overlook by the Tarkiln Bayou. It was a nice walk, and the dogs enjoyed it too. On Wednesday, we visited Big Lagoon State Park in Florida. This is a large state park that includes a campground, as well as opportunities for boating, swimming, hiking, and it even has the trailhead for the 1,500-mile kayaking trail around the state of Florida. It costs $6 per vehicle to enter. There are around 5 miles of hiking trails in the park. We took the dogs for a walk on the campground boardwalk trail, and about halfway through we found the rest of the boardwalk was closed because they were renovating the campground. So we walked along a sandy trail back to the main road. After our walk, we checked out the West Beach area and then drove down to the East Beach, where there is an observation tower where you can get some great views. For dinner, we stopped at Lambert's Cafe in Foley. Lambert's is known as the home of the throwed rolls. The reason it is called this is because they literally throw rolls across the dining area to anyone who wants one. Want a roll? Just raise your hand and catch one. This place was crazy. We ordered sodas and they came out in these enormous plastic cups. We enjoyed a couple throwed rolls as well as our meals. I ordered the fried chicken with cornbread and potato salad, and Keisha ordered the country fried steak with carrots and mashed potatoes. The food was pretty good and the rolls were great. This was a unique experience for sure. The next day we drove to Perdido Key Beach State Park, just across the border in Florida. This state park costs $3 per vehicle. There are 2 beach access areas in the park. It was windy and there was a red flag, meaning there was a rip current warning. But we still enjoyed sitting on the beach and watching the waves crash in. We even saw someone surfing. After walking along the beach and enjoying the ocean waves, we headed to the Yard in Gulf Shores for a special treat. Here we ordered a brookie batter milkshake, which came with cookie dough ice cream and fudgy brownie sundae, topped with a chocolate chip cookie, a scoop of cookie dough, and a brownie. It looked insane and tasted pretty good. On Saturday, we started our day early with breakfast at the Sunliner Diner in Gulf Shores. This was a neat restaurant with a 50s diner theme. We ordered the country fried steak with eggs, grits, and a biscuit, as well as a stack of pancakes. This was a delicious breakfast in a really swell diner. After breakfast, we drove to Fort Morgan. The fort sits on the end of Mobile Point, across the bay from Dauphin Island. It costs $8 a person to get into the fort and museum. This fort was completed in 1834, built mainly using slave labor and containing more than 46 million cubic yards of bricks. It has guarded Mobile Bay in the Spanish-American War, the American Civil War, and World Wars I and II. We were able to walk around the inside and outside of the fort, including the parade ground and the top of the fort walls. There were a couple of batteries we could look at as well, but they no longer contained any guns. It was still pretty cool to see the star-shaped fort from above. It was also neat to be able to walk inside and see all the calcium lime from the brick mortar that has seeped out and created stalagmites on the walls and floor. After touring the fort, we went inside the museum to learn a little more about the military history of the fort and Mobile Point. For lunch, we drove to Orange Beach, where we stopped at the Gulf. This outdoor venue is made with old shipping containers. We ordered at the window and sat down at a picnic table near the water. Keisha had the red snapper BLT, which was amazing. I had the blackened shrimp tacos, and they were delicious as well. We enjoyed our last day on the beach, sitting outside and watching the boats and jet skis go by. We had a wonderful time in the Gulf Shores area. We enjoyed walking around a few Florida state parks, watching the waves crash in on the beach, and touring an old fort. There is so much to see and do on Alabama's Gulf Coast. We can't wait to come back and soak up some sun again. Hope you enjoyed.